Okay, so let me share my screen. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So what did we covered in last session? I think it's about relationships, right? Okay, hope there is a clear idea about relationship fields. Okay, so today what we can see. So today we'll see about formula fields. Okay, formulas. So formula field will help us to do automatic calculations. Okay, so and the property of formula is read only. Okay, so this formula field will modify based on the it will do the automatic calculation based on the other fields. Okay, so formula fields cannot be editable, so it would be like a read only. Okay, so let's quickly go through some few examples with formula fields. Um, so let's launch our application. What is our application name? Training management, right? Okay, so here, okay, we'll start with our formulas. So what are the fields that we have here? Okay, right. So now what we can do in formula, we have two types of formula. One is simple, okay, and second one is advanced. So simple formulas is just to do basic calculations, like however we have simple calculator. Okay, so like simple in calculations can be done by simple formula field, and you know scientific calculator is having advanced options. So in a similar way, we can do both. So first we'll see about simple formula. Okay, so here we have candidate object, right? We have candidate object, use case number one. So in candidate object, as you know, we have one field called fees, right? So what we can do, okay, from the fees, okay, we will do automatic calculation. Like I want to calculate tax for that specific fees, okay, and then I want to populate total amount to be paid by the candidate. Okay, so this is what I'm planning. So let's do this. Okay. For example, okay, I'm considering, okay, you can consider any number. I'm considering the third tax as 18%, right? Suppose say that my fees is around 1000. Okay. So it can be rupees or dollars. It can be anything. But how we can calculate the tax for this? If my fees is 1000, what would be the tax amount? It would be around 180, right? How to do this calculation? First, we need to know the manual calculation, how to do this. So there are two ways, right? One, we have this, one second, someone is waiting on the call. Admit all. So how we can do the calculation? So it would be like this, and then into, right, 18 divided by 100. So your answer would be 180. So this is the calculation that we can do it, right? So not only like this, or we can do one more type. How we can do, like in other ways, how we can calculate. Directly, we can multiply with 0.18. Even if you do the same thing, you will get the same option, right? You can apply both the formulas. You can apply any one. Okay, it's up to you. Whichever you want to apply, you can apply. Okay, and here what should be the case? Here we need to get like 1180, right? So what is the formula for this? We need to calculate fees plus, right? Fees plus tax. So here, these are all simple calculations, right? There is no advanced concept is involved, just addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Only those things will be involved in this. Okay. So to do this automation, right? To this automatic calculation, we can go for simple formula. Hope use case is clear, right? So now we'll just implement that one. So here we already have a fees field. So go to edit object, fields and relationships, new fields. So here you can see formula field, right? So this one will help us to do the automatic calculation. So next, so we are going to calculate tax, right? So output of tax definitely, right? This is in the data type of currency, and this also should be currency, right? It should be rupees, dollars, or something. It should be currency. So return type should be in currency. And would you like to have any decimal points? So if yes, just keep it. Okay. However, how many decimal points you want, you can give it. Next. Okay, so here we can add that simple calculation. So what exactly we are planning for? So this is fees, right? Fees into 18 by 100. We need to write the same formula here. So insert field, okay? This is a fees field. Insert operator, fees multiplied, okay? 18 divided by 100, okay? So this will give you the answer. So let's check the syntax. So the moment you check the syntax, it will show in case if there are any issues. Suppose say that I'm not closing this bracket. If you try to check it, right, it will show some errors. So try to use those things properly. Select next, next, save. So now go to fees. Okay. So let's fill this 1000, save it. So let's refresh and we'll just give some time to populate that field. Okay, it will take time. Let it populate. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll create this also. We have calculated tax, right? Now we need to calculate total amount. Okay, so again go to new fields, select formula, select next, and then total fees or total amount, anything that should be again a currency. Select next. Okay, formula must be fees plus tax, right? Next, next, save. So now we'll just see. So here you can see, right? So based on the fees, tax is calculated, and based on the fees plus tax, total fees is calculated. Okay, so this is like little simple. So let me know if you have any question on this. Clear, right? Okay, so let me take it as clear. I'll just move forward. So we have seen one example for simple formula. So in similar way, we'll try to complete possible advanced formulas. Okay, so the next example is, say that, okay, there is a function called absolute. Okay, there is a function called absolute. What exactly this function will do? If you see in scientific calculators, you can find this function ABS. Okay, so absolute is a function. Okay, if you pass, okay, if you pass any negative numbers or if you pass any positive numbers, okay, it will return you only the positive number. That is called absolute function. Okay, let's do that absolute function. But in order to do this, right, I need any number fields to do this testing. These are all not use cases. These are all for testing purpose to understand the functionality. We are going to do some activities now that we will do it. So let's select new and I'll create one number field. Next, okay. The name of the field is input text, okay, and I will allow some decimals. So randomly I'll allow some three decimals, okay, and I'm not doing any other activities, just next, next, save. So I have given as input text. It's not a text, it's a number, okay. Let me change the name. So similarly, I'll create one more field for testing. So this would be the text field. Next. Okay, so this is input text. So how many characters you would like to occupy in this field? Okay, I want to occupy maximum 250 characters only you can occupy. have given 255. Next, save. Okay, so now you must be having some two input fields. Let it come. Okay, so now we have two input fields. So first we are going to cover about absolute functionality. So absolute functionality, first we need to decide. We are going to supply the input as in number format. In a similar way, we are going to take the output in number format, right? So both is in number format. So return type is important. You need to decide the return type, which exactly it will come. So directly go here, select new formula, next. Okay, this is I am just naming it as ABS output. Okay, so you know definitely the output is in the format of number. Okay, if you want any decimal points, yes, you can give it. Next. So you need to choose advanced formula. Okay, so in advanced formula, here you can see the first function is absolute function. Okay, if you do double click, it will come here. Okay, so or if you just hit this button, it will come here. Okay, so absolute of which field? Just select that specific number, whichever it is there inside the bracket. You need to supply one number as a input. Okay, I am supplying our input number field as input. Okay, so now whichever the input that you are giving it in the UI, that will be passed inside the ABS functionality and you will get the output. So once it is done, next, next, save. Okay, so now let's go here and then we'll see. Even if you give edit, you can able to find that one. Let it come, it's loading. So edit. So while editing, you can see input number and ABS output, right? So I'll supply from negative numbers, okay, and I'll save it. So let's refresh this page. So you can see, right? When you supply negative number, it's giving some positive numbers, right? So hope this functionality is clear. Next, we'll study about square root functionality. Okay, SQRT. So if you pass any numbers where you need to find square root, okay, you can find like this. Okay, hope this is little clear, right? So similar way, new and then choose formula, select next, and then this I'll just give it as square root output. Definitely I'm going to get some number as a output. I want 3 digit as a decimal because it will help me to find the nearest number as a square root. So again, in advanced formula, right? You can check square root functionalities here. If you do double click also, it will come. Okay, I'm just supplying the ABS output as my square roots input. Okay, because square root will is not going to accept any negative numbers. Okay, if you supply any negative numbers in the square root, you will get some error. So I'll try to supply ABS output because in ABS output always I'll get positive number. Okay, so next, save. Okay, so now let's refresh this. Okay, so in case if it takes time, right, just click this edit. It will reflect first here. Here you can see, right, 256 square root is 16. I'll just give just 3. Okay, save it. Here you can see root 3 is 1.732. If you check for root 2, you will get 1.414, something like that, right? So you can able to find the square root of given number. Okay. So similarly, we have so many functionalities. So if you just find here, right? If you just go to any formula fields. Where is that we have created ABS output? Here you can see A cos. Okay, so it returns arc cosine. Okay, add months. It will add the number of months and function, logical and. So this one I'll teach tomorrow. And ASCII. If you want to find the ASCII number of a given character, you can find it. This is arc sign. Okay, so like this, you have so many functions here. In case if you want to learn about any one function, right, just click this help on this function. Okay, at present there is a server issue with Salesforce. We'll see whether it is coming or not. Yeah, it won't come. So there are some new releases is happening. That's why this page is not coming. For time being, what you can do is, okay, just copy this name of the function and then search here. Okay, so if you click, you can see there are lots of examples which is given by Salesforce documentation itself. Okay, so here, whichever it is mentioned as documentation, just open it and you can see there are plenty of example for all the all the functionalities, right? So try to learn all the functionalities however we can use in this formulas. Okay, I'll just teach you one more functionality or two functionalities. Based on that, try to pick it up from your end and then learn all the functionalities. Okay, so third one, I'll cover it for length. Okay, so length is one of the function. So if you length function, it will come like this. In case if you supply any sample text, right, you will get the count of letters. Okay, whichever the count is there, even if you give space, it will consider. Okay, even if you give space, it will consider. Okay, hope it's clear. So this is the length functionality. So what we can do, we can supply some inputs and we can see whether it's counting properly or not. So go to candidates, go to fields and relationships, select new, and then formula, select next, and here you can give length of input text. Okay, return type must be in, yeah, as you know that if you are supplying input as a text, definitely it's giving the output as number, right? So that is also, it will not give any decimals, it's going to give only some whole numbers like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so like that it can give till 255. So the output should be in numbers and decimals is not necessary, right? Next. So here if you search length, okay, you can get and then insert the input text and then next, next, save it. Okay, so now here in input text we can give some random text, okay, and we'll just save it. Length, length, length. So let's refresh. So here you can see, right, length of input text is 7. Even if you try to give space, right, That will also will get count. See, it's changed to 8. Hope it's clear, right? Okay, the next functionality is I want to find today's date. Okay, today is a functionality which helps to find the today's date. For this, right, you don't need any input. This is like an independent function which will give you the output. Okay, so or you can find I want to find, okay, next week's the same day. Okay, I mean same date of next week. So that is nothing but today's date plus 7, right? So we'll just go directly into the object, select new formula, select next. Okay, so next week's date. So you really don't need any input, but the return of this specific is date. Okay, it will give you the date. Okay, next. Okay, so here if you search, you can get today's date plus. Okay, I'll just give plus 7. Next, it's taking little time today. Next, save. Okay, so now just refresh and we'll see. Today's next week's date not yet populated. Edit. Refresh one more time. It will come. Okay. Just give some 10 seconds to 15 seconds time. Okay. So meanwhile, if you want to ask any doubts, yes, you can ask. So I am done for today's session. I have taken four advanced functionalities and one simple functionality. So totally five functionalities are there. And I just told you how to learn the other functionalities, right? So I'm done for today's session. If you have any questions, yes, you can ask your questions now. Any questions before closing this session? Okay, I'm just waiting for this output. If I show this output, I'm done for today's session. So try to utilize this URL, okay, help.salesforce.com. There you can learn all the functionalities with the examples. So one last time, you can unmute yourself, you can tell me. So if you have any questions, if you want to discuss anything, yes, this is the time to ask your questions. If not, I'll just consider as no. And once we see this output, we can close this session. Where is that next week state is not at fetching. Edit object, fields and relationships. Where is that next week date? This one, right? So edit, save, just refresh. Let's create one new candidate. So that will get populate for sure. Okay, you can check and test it out. So due to some server, it's taking little time to load. But this is not expected. This is not a usual one. Okay. Every time it will come little bit sooner, but today it's taking little time. Let it come. Okay. So you can just practice till this and you can try out whether it is coming or not. Okay. So maybe in tomorrow's session, before starting tomorrow's session, okay, I'm not going to do login further. I'm going to log in directly tomorrow only. So we'll see tomorrow what's happening. So one more time before closing today's session, would you like to ask any doubts?